Welcome to another Gearhead review. I'm Jonah Gelzo, and today we're going to be talking about the JAG35 Sidekick Pro. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on one of the first run of these particular follow focuses. I've had quite a lot of time to really kind of get down and dirty with it, so to speak. I've used it on some documentary films, used it on a lot of promotional short films, tons of side projects, I mean, what have you, kind of done it all. I feel like it kind of straddles that perfect midpoint as far as not being too inexpensive, which kind of lends towards some kind of more essentially cutting corners. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great, really affordable follow focuses out there on the market that, you know, are mainly plastic based, you know, maybe some little bits of metal in there, but overall kind of more plastic construction, and those can work absolutely great for kind of more amateur enthusiasts or people that kind of have a gig occasionally. But when you're like me and you're doing a lot more work and a lot more demanding work, you really need something that is really going to kind of stand up to the environments and really perform. While at the same time, it's not overly expensive, because obviously you can easily get into over $1,000 or more for follow focuses, and a lot of follow focuses that are in a really high echelon, you know, of the price range are kind of more geared towards, you know, legit on-set filming using big red cameras and ARRI Alexas, etc., what have you. And a lot of times those kind of projects have the budget to afford pricier gear. So I like that JAG35 is kind of the best of both worlds, kind of honing in right under that $500 mark. What I really like about the JAG35 is just, you feel the quality just holding in your hands. It feels very tight and well put together as far as being well designed. It's mostly metal. There's really not a lot of plastic on it, which is great, as most follow focuses tend to be more plasticky. So this is really rigid and really solid. Just the whole gear movement, there's no play in it. It feels really smooth. This works great. You know, I like pairing it with defocus gears for standard Canon lenses, but when you pair this with, let's say, Rokinon Cine lenses, or even, you know, Zeiss CP2 primes, you know, with that standard gearing that it's set up for, it just feels very smooth. And again, just super solid. Typically most follow focuses are set up for dual 15mm rails, so it sets up that way. But what I really like about the JAG35 is you install it on your rig by just a single 15mm rod, and you just tighten it down like so. And I just like the simplicity factor. It's a lot quicker to get on and off. I can just unloose it a little bit, slide the gearing out of the way, pop in a new lens, etc. It's just a lot quicker, takes up even less room if you're throwing it in a kit bag, which I do often, because a lot of times I'm basically restricted to what I can fit in my backpack. So that's crucial, especially when doing documentary films, etc. Again, all the thumb tightening screws, or knobs should I say, just feel really secure. Don't feel cheap at all, feel really smooth. Another feature I really like about the JAG35 is kind of the reference point indicator on the device. Typically on follow focuses you have a small little metal rod that sticks over where you would use a Sharpie to mark your focus points for pulling focus, and so that, you know, is your reference point for rack focusing. But what I like with JAG35 is that they kind of did something innovative, at least something that I haven't seen, especially on a more affordable follow focus, is an adjustable reference point indicator. So basically, just with a top little thumb screw, I can unscrew it and I can rotate that 360 degrees however I want it. So let's say if I'm pulling focus, you know, and camera opping at the same time, or just pulling focus, sometimes it might be better, depending on kind of the angle of the setup, to adjust that so you can see it and reference that more easily. So I really like that, and again, feels really nice and sturdy. It has that standard kind of mounting point if you want to, you know, throw in a you know, short or long whip or any other type of accessories through that standard accessory port. So again, I feel like most people that do reviews typically, you know, get the products in their hand for maybe a couple days at most, and, you know, just get a little bit of time to play with things. With JAG35, I've had this new Sidekick Pro with me on numerous projects over months and months and months and months. So I've really tested out thick and thin and really been able to utilize it to its fullest potential and really put in some demanding situations. I've taken it to East Africa with me, to Uganda for some film scouting out there, as well as all over the United States. I also was a part of producing a series of 10 commercial short films for a client in a very fast shooting schedule, and utilized the Sidekick Pro on every single one of those shorts as well. It really lends itself towards really being beneficial to a lot of run and gun filmmakers, mobile filmmakers, documentary filmmakers, etc. I mean, I've thrown this in my backpack so many times and thrown it on a plane, been in a bus, you know, been in the back of a van, thrown around, etc. And I haven't exactly bubble wrapped it every time I've put it in there. I've just thrown it in there, and it's held up to lots of abuse. I probably should take more care of my gear, honestly, but that's what I like. I like having gear that kind of stands up to abuse, because a lot of times you don't have the time to be able to to treat your gear appropriately, because sometimes you just have to throw it in and get the shot you need to get. And a lot of times with cheaper follow focuses, when they're made more out of plastic, you can't really set something heavy on top of it. You can't really afford to just throw it in your kit bag and go, because on the flip side, you might find out that, you know, your knob or some different components of it have completely snapped or broken or bent, etc., because, you know, they're not as high grade materials. You know, when you're looking at products, a big thing to look at is not just, does it look cool? Is it expensive so it must be nice? No, it's more of, is this something that is just so freaking easy to use and really aids your projects day in, day out, you know, your kind of projects. It really aids you in those specific situations, you know, the things that are most important for you. In my case, most of the projects I do, you know, it's on a very fast time scale. It's run and gun, documentary shooting, you know, don't have a lot of space in my kit bag, you know, has to be small, lightweight, durable, and just has to be something that I can just throw on a rig extremely fast. And this really hits all those points for me, and so that's why it's definitely something that I highly recommend. So if you're looking for a follow focus upgrade, something that can last you, you know, as you're moving up the ranks as far as more legitimate work, definitely take a look at JAG35 and the Sidekick Pro. Thank you so much for watching this review. Stay tuned and check back for more reviews in the future. My name is Jonah Gelzo. I'll catch you later.